Well, what's crack? So, just to recap, this is my 2008 Renault Laguna project, which has been subjected to the hard life of crime. And between me and you, it's seen better days. In the last part, I showed you around the car and pointed out everything that could be found at first glance. However, today, we were going to have a look at it on the lift and start work on a few issues. Let's see how it goes. Nah, just kidding, I already know how it goes. It's not good.
Alright, day 2. I managed to find the rattle underneath and I got a lift, as you can see. Thanks, Dad. So let's go take a look and I'll show you what's wrong. Okay, so as you can see, here's the exhaust box, the muffler here, and the main source of the rattle was the heat shield. Focus. As you can see, so that was just sitting on top of the muffler, just going. Sounds pretty much like it. So the way it's fixed is with these weird looking clips. You can see them there. Look, they're probably seized on, but we're gonna try and get them off anyway. That's the rattle at the back. Now to the front. Under here, here's the under tray or engine guard, and as can be seen, this also sounds quite familiar. So it's pretty loose there. It's kind of pretty loose everywhere. So that's gonna have to be dealt with. However, a service kit needs to be put on, so I'm just gonna take it off and then we'll deal with it when the service is done. There's a cable tie holding it on there. So that's not great. Other than that, like, I mean, the tires, as already mentioned, are pretty much bald on the front, so that's fine. I knew that already. The rears are actually okay, and fun fact, I have one of these Lagunas already that I drive, so it needs front tires. So I mean, like, if they're going, you know. So before I delve into that, I'm gonna run through with you a list of what this car needs. Okay, here's everything this car needs. It needs mirror glass, left and right. It needs a right-hand side alloy, front tires and rear tires. A fuel filler door. A few bulbs. I think they're already done. Wipers. Boot struts. Chrome trim on the bumper. Fog lights around. On the driver's side, service kit and both inner tie rods. So, I mean, like, it's not terrible. Some is off shooting somewhere. The body is not good. It leaves a lot to be desired. But I mean, a wet sand, some G3, clay bar, I think it should come out alright. It's not going to be perfect. This is just a daily driver, so I mean, there's only so much that we can do. There's no point respraying the entire car, you know. The goal is just to get it to be a reliable daily driver. We'll crack on with this shield. Alright, so I've employed the help of the resident engineer to come up with a solution for the heat shield problem. This is Dad.
Hello everybody.
So he's come up with the solution to use a plate instead of a washer, because we don't have a washer big enough. And then this plate is just gonna plug the hole on the heat shield.
Okay, so here you're looking at the heat shield mounts on the opposite side of the muffler with quite long and very rusty bolts, which I managed to strip. Yeah. As seen, I employed the aid of the engineer yet again to tackle the task of fixing my mess, while I tackle some other bits.
Sit rep, there's unsettling bit of news just after being uncovered. That, with the nice DIY bodge job, is the fuel tank support, which has currently been held up by a bit of fencing wire. So I'm going to deal with that next. So I managed to get the fuel support rail off. I would scrap it, but Dad, the engineer, says he can fix it, so one thing I've learned is to never doubt him, so I left him over there to work away. That's fine. Next thing I'm going to move on to is taking off the under tray here in anticipation of the service. and then clean up these rear brake lines here, which are just a bit of surface rust on them here. So that's really no big deal. So yeah, get her done.
Alright, it's been a few hours since the time lapse and it's gotten a lot colder, but still. We did some stuff. We got the brake line all painted up. There's a rear axle bushing there and its whole mounting mechanism was really corroded, so we cleaned that up and painted it. Dad, the engineer, finished off his masterpiece. This is the fuel tank support brace thingy, whatever you want to call it. You know what, it's not the prettiest things, but I tell you what, it'll do the job. It'll do the job. And it'll be a lot better than the baling twine and fence wire that was there. So we get this in, got the under tray off, have the heat shield all fixed up, and it should be fairly quiet when it starts up. One last thing I need to do is take off the tyres and put them on the other Laguna that you haven't seen yet. Well, right, let's get her done.
And look at that. Overall, I would call that a success. At least compared to the bodge job that it was. I mean, like, that's good and solid. That's not going anywhere. So, I'm happy enough with that. I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, well done, Dad, the engineer. Alright, so next thing to tackle is the fittings on the end of the brake line there. If you can just see, they're a bit corroded. So we're going to deal with that next. There's the painted brake line. Looks very good. Looks new. There is, just to clarify, it was only surface corrosion on the brake lines, like there was. They weren't rotten. If they were rotten, then we would change them, obviously, because that's very, very stupid. Under here, it looks pretty clean, but it's complete darkness. So it's pretty clean, like there's a bit of oil, just it's crud really, just from over the years, but front is dry. Overall, looks pretty good, so happy enough. We've a lot of progress done today. So I'm just going to finish off that. I'll do that off camera because it's just more of the same, like I've already got a few time lapses of them few bits. Cleaned up that bushing mount there. Looks pretty good. Let me get the light so you can actually see it. It looks fine. Like, it's not perfect. Obviously, it's not perfect. However, it's an awful lot better than what it was. I probably should have taken a picture of it, come to think of it. But, whatever. It's fine. So, overall, we're happy enough. The heat shield is completely fixed. The bodge job worked. Bodge job, that's a bit harsh. I don't think it's a bodge job. I think it's a bit better than that. So as you can see there, it's that same weird nut yoke with just a bit of galvanized steel behind it, and it works really well, and it won't corrode. So yeah, that solves the problem, because originally what was happening is, I don't know, over time and vibrations and stuff, like it starts to bore a hole in the heat shield itself, and then it just ends up falling through, sitting on top of the muffler, and then causing a ferocious rattle. So now that that's sorted, that's the back, say, and then there's the front. So yeah, I stripped them two nuts that were originally there. Yeah, that's my bad, but I mean they were pretty bad anyway. So he just added a bit of a plate there. So yeah, we don't call him engineer for nothing. And yeah, that was fine. We left that alone. They're the other mounts for the heat shield. Them two nuts, and yeah, they were fine. Like, left them alone. And yeah, that's pretty much it now. So next time this thing comes down, we start it. It should not sound like such a tractor. I mean, it's a diesel. It's gonna sound a little bit like a tractor, but it won't be as bad. Alright, so that's gonna wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed. Like and favourite if you did enjoy. And be sure to give me some constructive criticism, because that's always good in this industry. Next episode we're going to be tackling the tyres, brake pads, and even maybe wash it. And then in the finale, there's probably going to be more, I'd like to do a full detail and video that, you know, clay barring, wet sanding. It's going to be all sorts of shit. It's going to be great. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you're not already, and be sure to check me out on Instagram below. And with that, I'll talk to you there. Come think of it, I should have done that in my studio. Jesus Christ.